Hello and welcome to Pulse of Culture. I'm Salia Strzemska. On the eve of the third anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, we bring you a special edition of our program. This episode sheds light on the many challenges Ukrainians had to go through and in many cases continue to do so. But despite this hardship, you'll see stories of resilience, strength and even triumph in the face of adversity. And we begin with the first story. While explosions echoed all around and the people of Ukraine lived under constant threat, one thing remained a source of strength, a voice, even in the darkest moments.
March 2022, Kyiv, a bomb shelter. 7-year-old Amelia sang Let It Go from Disney's Frozen. Her voice was soft yet confident. Around her, frightened people, children with anxious eyes, and she sang. The song became a ray of light in the darkness of war. Within hours, the video spread across the world. Millions were moved by this heartwarming moment. The voice of a little Ukrainian girl became a symbol of hope. In 2023, she took part in The Voice Kids Poland, where her talent captivated both the judges and the audience. The voice of Ukraine echoed on a Polish stage. But perhaps one of the most touching moments was her performance at Warsaw's Chopin Airport, alongside the viral pianist known as Amelia Piano. For a few minutes, the bustling terminal fell into complete silence. Today, she continues to tour, performing on Poland's biggest stages. She doesn't just sing. She reminds the world that no matter what happens, the Ukrainian voice will never be silenced.
Before the war in Ukraine broke out, they were successful musicians. But on February 24, 2022, their lives changed forever. Swapping guitars for military gear and medical supplies, they joined their fellow countrymen on the front lines. Now we bring you the incredible stories of two music bands, Antytila and Beton.
The worst moment was when I realized that I could die. At first, it wasn't just scary, it was terrifying. The first 2 weeks were probably the hardest. I realized that I could die at basically any moment. Panic set in, but I didn't tell anyone.
Just before the Russian invasion, the band Antytila would play shows in stadiums packed to the brim.
Our life looked completely different before and after February 24. We forgot who we were before the war. We started serving in the territorial defense forces as paramedics.
The performers had been preparing for the Russian invasion long before it happened. Some of them had been fighting alongside the army in eastern Ukraine since 2014. They all underwent military training.
We had go bags packed at home. We were also preparing our families, getting documents in order, and securing radios to stay in touch in case of a blackout. We had a plan for how we would act in such a situation.
But what they saw on the front lines exceeded their wildest expectations. Some of the musicians delivered medical supplies and food to the front. Others worked to patch up the wounded.
I will remember for the rest of my life the journalist who was interviewing us and got wounded on the front line. He lost his leg in a bombing attack. The worst, most unpleasant and disgusting thing was the smell of blood, and the smell of blood mixed with gunpowder and TNT. It was everywhere.
I'm Dr. Orthopedist, I am musician, DJ, and nowadays I'm just a military doctor, yeah.
This is Andriy Zholob from the band Beton. After the Russian invasion, he first worked in the Kharkiv region, and his later postings included this hospital in Kramatorsk.
I've seen many deaths, I've seen many severe hyper severe injuries such as brain outside and something like that. So I understand how it is important to speak with those guys.
As a medical professional before the war, Zholob was familiar with the sight of maimed bodies and blood. This does not mean, however, that he doesn't have difficult moments.
Every time, for example, when we need to amputate both legs or something like that, you understand, you will remember it forever. So you can see a guy who is 24 years old, for example. He asks you, doctor, are my legs okay? I say, man, no, they're not okay.
This cover of a famous song by The Clash, performed by Beton, gained a lot of popularity shortly after the Russian invasion. For this doctor on the front lines, music was a way to escape from the tragedy of war.
I've brought my 2 guitars here, and every evening I play. I'm managing things about my band.
Every family in Ukraine has lost someone close to them due to the Russian occupiers. I too have friends who died on the front line. Unfortunately, that's the reality of war.
But there is still hope among Ukrainians that this war can not only be brought to an end, but end with a Ukrainian victory.
All the hardships, the unbearable conditions we live in, the constant shelling, they cause not only fear, but above all, hatred towards the Russians. It fuels a desire for revenge and gives us the energy we need to continue the fight.
We know that we will win. With your help, we will build a new world. World of freedom, world of love.
Art sheds light on the present by revealing the past. To My Father is a powerful documentary drama about the Vinnytsia Massacre, one of the Stalin's brutal purges before World War II. Filmed by TVP World's Skaya and award-winning filmmaker Liliana Komorowska, it stands as a gripping account of Soviet terror.
To understand the present, we must first confront the past. In the shadow of Stalin's Great Purge, one man's life is shattered and the memory of his sacrifice nearly lost to time. To My Father tells the untold story of Adam Bandrowski, played by Emmy Award-winning Antoni Porowski, a Polish man living in the Soviet Union's borderlands, a victim of Stalin's brutal campaign. His life, erased by arrest, interrogation, and execution, is only remembered through the painful recollections of his young daughter. In 1937 and 1938, 13,475 Poles and Ukrainians were executed by the NKVD in Vinnytsia, Ukraine, as part of Stalin's relentless terror. And a short film, a work of art, To My Father combines poetry with history to bring this story to life, shedding light on a painful chapter that has long been left in the dark. Within the heart of today's turmoil, the shadows of history's darkest moments linger, moments too painful to ever forget. As the world watches the pain of war unfold in Ukraine again, we are reminded that the wounds of the past are never fully healed.
The third anniversary of the Russo-Ukrainian War has inspired cultural events across Poland, including Warsaw's premiere of Two Sisters, a film by Łukasz Karwowski.
It takes a special artist to look at a war zone and say, I want to make a movie here. But Łukasz Karwowski did exactly that. Filmed on the ground in Ukraine shortly after the Russian invasion, the movie Two Sisters explores the war in Ukraine and its consequences, as well as complex interpersonal and family relations. At the movie premiere in Warsaw, TVP World had a chance to speak to the director.
It was so moving that I decided to do a feature film about it, and very quickly we found our Ukrainian co-producer and we decided to make this movie in real locations, not far from the front line. It was a little bit scary. I hope this movie shows the brotherhood between Ukraine and Poland. Like two sisters in the movie, I hope Ukraine and Poland are two sisters also as countries.
The movie tells the story of two sisters who are traveling from Warsaw to Kharkiv to bring back their severely wounded father. The two sisters never had a good relationship, but they need to reconcile to help a parent. From Warsaw, for TVP World, Sonia Gatabiszczyn.
Poland's cultural landscape is constantly evolving, shaped also by an influx of Ukrainian talent. From fashion to beauty and even gastronomy, Ukrainians are leaving their mark, redefining trends and enhancing everyday life. Our reporter Anastasia Yanchenko tells the story.
Poland and Ukraine have long influenced each other's cultures, but today this exchange is more dynamic than ever. Ukrainian entrepreneurs are not just rebuilding their lives, they are redefining the Polish lifestyle. Meet Svetlana, the creator of a Ukrainian boutique in Poland. Her space is more than just a store, it's a love letter to Ukrainian craftsmanship and contemporary design.
Today, our customer base is about 40% Ukrainian and 60% Polish. We have experimented with different styles, bringing in various collections. What I can say for sure is that Ukrainian women have introduced more vibrant colors and bold embellishments into fashion, while Polish women have refined these trends with their elegance.
But Svetlana and her family's hearts remains with Ukraine. Her young daughter's drawing of the Ukrainian flag became the boutique's best-selling t-shirt, a symbol of heritage and hope.
I always tell her about where we come from. She listens to Ukrainian music, watches Ukrainian cartoons, and of course, we deeply miss my husband, who is currently serving on the front lines. One day, she drew a picture on the Ukrainian flag. It touched me so much that I decided to print it on a t-shirt. It became our best-selling item.
Beyond fashion, beauty is another area where Ukrainian entrepreneurs are making waves. Since the start of the war, thousands of Ukrainian beauty salons have opened across Poland, creating a unique Polish-Ukrainian beauty alliance that is shaping a new aesthetic. Ksenia, a beauty entrepreneur, is leading this transformation of her salon, which caters to both Ukrainian and Polish clients.
Ukrainian and Polish women have truly influenced each other. It's a balance. We have exchanged trends, techniques, and ideas. We introduced them to a new hair coloring style, while they showed us fresh manicure designs and really fast speed of its making. In our salon, both Ukrainian and Polish professionals work together, creating beauty as a united force. I truly believe that beauty can save the world, even in the hardest time.
And then there's food, the most delicious cultural exchange of all. Ukrainian gastronomy is thriving in Poland, with many restaurants redefining the culinary landscape. Among them is the high-end Baczewski restaurant in Warsaw. Here, guests savor both Ukrainian classics like borscht and Kiev-style chicken cutlets, alongside Poland's beloved żurek and pierogi.
We're similar nations that we love a lot of, for the first, meat. There's like heavy cuisine. It's rich in meat and heavy dishes like borscht or bigos or I don't know, flaki.
Ukrainian creativity is flourishing in Poland, redefining Polish culture with fresh perspectives, bold aesthetics, and new traditions. This is more than a cultural exchange. It is a renaissance in spite of adversity.
And that's a wrap for this special episode of Pulse of Culture. Thank you for watching, and please stay tuned for more.